Today's episode, I'm out here in the heart of the Pyrenees. I'm on a 3-day mission to reach the legendary Russell Caves. Due to the melting glacier, they became almost impossible to reach, and that's exactly why I'm here. It's not gonna be an easy one, but definitely worth the effort. Taking the lazy way up today, but it's for a greater cause. Get free parking by doing that, so don't have to tell me twice. Thank you. Anyways, welcome to the Pyrenees. The old dumpster somehow survived the treacherous journey across the endless Italian highways, countless French toll stations, and thousands of incompetent drivers. It took 17 hours of butt cramps, 1600 kilometers, and a whole bunch of junk food to get here, but it already paid off. Today shouldn't be any different. Three things are guaranteed: sheep, horses, and lakes. One of many glacial lakes here. But I'm more interested in what lies beyond that. Fortunately, I missed the fog window to show you, but I'm headed up there towards the highest mountain of the French Pyrenees. No more pretty lakeside views. Time for my rusty knees to start working again. Somewhere up on that mountain are the legendary Russell Caves that I plan to find. They were dug out in the late 1800s by the pioneer of the Pyrenean exploration, Henry Russell. The only problem is it's been 140 years since then, and the glacier has melted by over 60%, so they became almost impossible to reach. But I'm loaded to the nines with climbing gear, so I'd like to think the odds are in my favor. There's our mountain, slowly coming into sight. More about why and how those caves were built a bit later. Now let's focus on the task at hand, which is getting to the base camp. Or in other words, a small chunk of flat real estate, my little tent. Holy baguette, look at that view. Oh man. Ain't that amazing? Fine looking path. There's things I don't like about France, like the toll stations every 5 minutes on the highway, overpriced gas, and overcomplicated gas stations. But the baguettes and these views make up for it. The best way to describe it would be the most confusing country I've been to. No one speaks English and everything's overcomplicated. But yeah, as I said, the nature makes it worth it. It doesn't get more flat than that, but I'm gonna keep going. I want to camp a bit higher up, preferably just below that glacier. I've got a pretty shitty tent, so I'm gonna try to find some cover under the drops. Much better here. Good enough. Protected on this side and a lovely view on this side. Couldn't ask for much more. Okay, I'm gonna change my sweaty shirt and update you on the plan. Is it any good? Yeah? Okay. If you get crippled, it's your fault. Shabby. Okay, now the only thing standing between me and those caves is this impressive 800-meter north wall. I'm gonna bypass that on the left side tomorrow, and yeah, it's about as much as I can show you for now. The mountains also got two glaciers. One is just below the caves on the other side, and there's also a tiny one here, which I did plan to check out today, but might not have the time to do that now, so I'm gonna leave that for tomorrow morning. I've got to get off this thing and pull out my tent before it starts raining. Of course, as soon as you start setting up the tent, the wind starts blowing. For that it was 30 minutes of complete peace. Horrendous. Look, I know I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but still, this tent is just stupid. There's no way to go about it. I just hope the wind doesn't pick up, because this is standing on hopes and dreams. My humble abode. Some beef ravioli. What I've got to do is warm it up, so this dinner's gonna be easier to make. what, this rock ain't much of a shelter. I think it's much better than out in the open. Nope. Oh, not in the ravioli. Quite cozy. Might have overcooked them a bit, but not bad. Could use some salt. The portions could be bigger. There's only like 10 ravioli in there. I guess that means you've still got room for dessert. Some chocolate. Might regret not anchoring down this a bit more properly, but it's gonna be a problem for the future me. Presently I didn't feel like doing that, so good night. Well, good morning. It was a quite unpleasant night. It's like someone kept doing this all night. So yeah, I missed about half of my sleep, but at least didn't have to do any interventions. Okay, before I do anything else, I'm gonna go check out that glacier, and then food, wake up, and from a distance it looks like the glacier starts here, but it's just rock. There's only a tiny amount left up there on the ledge. It's quite a lot smaller than it looked in the photos and Google Maps. It's not an ice cave, but it is a snow cave. Should I run for it? Okay, I'm safe now. Probably shouldn't go any further. I'm still gonna take a look if I can make it up that scramble and get to the actual glacier. Now the question is left or right, because the middle is a no-go. I think that looks the most doable. Yeah, well, I was wrong. The glacier does start here, but it's buried in rocks, a bunch of rocks. Speaking of, yeah, looks like I made the right call. The only safe way to go up would be on either of the sides, but there's no quick way to do it. Here I would have to go up and around. Maybe that would be doable, but I feel like it's not worth it. And the left side looks like even more of a hassle. Here's a quick zoom for you all so you can get a closer look. There's some pretty big loose blocks up there. Time to skedaddle. Give it another maybe 10 years, and then that upper part is probably gonna be all gone. Here under the rocks it might take a bit longer, but I don't know. Oh yeah, there's definitely a glacier hidden underneath all of these rocks. Quite a big one too by the looks of it. These rocks are just camouflage. It's nice to see my tent is still there. Well, who would want to take that? The backpack's so heavy that I think it's also as good as locked. Yep. Still there. I'm having some raspberry mousse. I don't know if that's dessert or breakfast, but either way I'm not complaining. It's like eating syrup. Oh. Oh. Finished, but barely. Packed all of the stuff I don't need, including the tent in this goodie bag. Gonna pick that up on the way down. Much better than yesterday. Okay, the normal route goes up here and around that mountain, but I'm gonna take a bit of a shortcut up here to get a glimpse of that other glacier. And I mean, it's the same glacier, but it's the upper part. Maybe 100 years ago it was all connected, but yeah, it is what it is now. So yeah, where was I? Upwards and onwards. It's not gonna be as easy as the normal way, but definitely more scenic. Okay, I think it's time to talk more about the hows and whys of those caves. As I mentioned yesterday, Henry Russell is considered one of the pioneers of this mountain range. It means he and his climbing guides climbed lots of first ascents, including the Mali here, the very first ascent of this peak. So yeah, as he was exploring the Pyrenees, he would often spend the night bivouacking in the mountains, and that's probably where he came up with the idea to build his own shelter. He didn't want it to be just another wooden hut, as it wouldn't fit in the environment, hence why he chose a cave. 7 caves. But nonetheless, they didn't lack luxury. The caves were heated, they had furniture, carpets, and apparently even served meals. Short break from the program. Here's another nice view of the glacier, a bit more up there, and that's where I'm headed, towards that saddle. As you can imagine, such luxury wasn't just used for mountaineering. He would often host feasts and social gatherings for other influential people of his stature. So yeah, he wasn't exactly the stereotypical dirt-bagging alpinist. These lines are just more solid than the rest. One more look back before we hop on the other side. Back on the normal route. The first 3 caves are already on the other side of the saddle, but those 3 don't require any climbing to reach, so it's gonna be more of a stop and go kind of thing. Hello. A bit down and then back up the other side. I'm counting on that hut to refill my water supplies. Usually they always have water fountains. Fully restocked, and now it's time for the first 3 caves. But before that, look at this scenery. It's the valley where the main caves are hiding. You can see the very start of the glacier, and the caves are above that glacier. If I'm not mistaken, the first 3 caves should be over this edge. Yep, there they are. 1, 2, and I'm assuming the third one is hiding behind there. And we've even got a clock. Looks like it's still in use. And a cooker. Oh, sleeping pad. This one's the biggest one so far. Also the messiest one. You know how it goes. Always make sure to clean up after yourself. No matter which room you got, they've all got a 5-star view. Okay, moving on to bigger, more exciting stuff. The main caves, I mean. As long as I follow this river, I should reach the glacier. And the glacier leads me to the caves. sudden I got super thirsty. It's about time for a break. Ouch. Of course, what else? In a baguette. Can't find any other bread than a baguette here, so you don't really have a choice. Either you're hungry or eat a baguette. I wonder if these remains are from the caves. Once we get over that, should be able to see them. Can already feel the cold glacier breeze. This never-ending valley was once completely covered with ice. That's why this rock is so nicely polished. I'm gonna try to find a picture from the past, and if I find something, I'm gonna stick it on right now. As I said, 140 years ago it was about 60% bigger, so it's changing quite rapidly. But they say we might enter another ice age soon, so then we'll complain about how cold it is. As humans are just a bunch of whinies. The crocodiles have been here way longer than us, and you never hear them complain. At last, Glacier de Osue, Mount Vignemale, and the 3 caves. Hop on the glacier. Hopefully I don't need any crampons, but I doubt it. Oh, it's cold. Yep, as expected, I'm gonna need the crampons. The glacier doesn't have many cracks, but those that are best to be avoided. Oh. Now tell me, how deep is the water down there? Should I go head first or frog style? What sort of measuring station is that? I'm gonna go too close because I don't want to mess up whatever they're doing. Because it looks important. There were 2 people down at the beginning of the glacier, and they had another one of those things down there. So if anyone knows what they're up to, let me know, please. Ooh. Now you can really see how much the glaciers melted. Back then they had to dig them out from under the snow. Now they're way up there. That's where it all went down. The parties and feasts. I do wonder if there's any stuff still left in there, considering it's a lot harder to reach nowadays. See, there's an old rope hanging from the middle cave, but definitely not trusting that. Then I also couldn't reach the other 2, because they're a bit higher. Got my own 30-meter rope, and according to my calculations, it should be more than enough. Take another photo here so I know where exactly to rappel once I get up on top. What's up with all these circles? for tents, but why would you wanna camp up here? Everyone's got to make that mistake once in their lifetime. Okay, that's the ridge I'm gonna take tomorrow morning to the Vignemale. My cave is right down here, I believe. Why am I still wearing crampons? Because I'm lazy, that's why. It's not looking good. This is just a bunch of hopes and dreams kind of rock. Okay, I might have found something. I'm gonna go get my pitons and see what I can do. Beautiful. Well, that should hold an elephant. At least an elephant like me. I'll throw it a bit more that way in case I trigger any rocks. Oh, there's one. Not sure which one, but it's a start. Oh. Should I just commando style it? Oh. Well, I hope the other two are any bigger than that. That says damas. Other than that, there's not really much to see. Okay, I'm gonna continue on to the next one. Not much of a calculator, but I did have enough rope. Barely. When I was reading those descriptions, I expected a lot more, but it's enough for one man to sleep, so what more do I need? Wonder if I can make it to the other one. Okay, I don't have much daylight left, so I'm gonna use that to make some thumbnail photos. Might have missed a spectacular sunset behind there, but the sunrise tomorrow morning is gonna be that much more sweet. Put myself on a leash and also tied in the rope, so now I'm idiot proof. Oh no, I ripped up my bag. Let's drink it. Dumbass. Chocolates au jambon. No idea what that is, but hope it fills the void in my stomach. Looks like carbonara. Smells like carbonara, so it must be carbonara. I like that you only need to warm it up. The simplest meal is the best kind of meal. Oh yeah, they're just lovely. All the food I eat in a day is barely enough for one meal. But what can you do? Now I see what these holes are meant for. Even got a light mounted on the ceiling. Oh. Good morning. Oh. Yesterday I even had thoughts of going to the top for the sunrise, but see, that would be a mistake. It's even better from here. Ooh. I like that the time here in the Pyrenees is a bit late. You get an extra hour in the morning and in the evening. I don't know if you've been keeping count, but so far we've only seen 6 caves. It means there's one more left. That one is right below the summit of the Vignemale. So I'm gonna pack up my stuff and climb up there. For that, I still got to show you that third cave. Hope you got to see something. And a nice wide shot of all 3. Well, thanks for having me. There's the cave. Bye bye. Whoops. Okay, now just ridge climb to the top. everything cleaned up. Now I gotta hurry up and take the summit real quick before the crowds overcrowded. The windy one. Despite the wind, this is just spectacular. Oh man. Okay, I got to the top of some peak. Not sure which, but it's not the Vignamale. That one's over there. I have to put in a bit more effort. Oh, the finish line. What the hell is that? Graffiti. Graffiti on 3000 meters. Oh, that's just ruins the whole summit experience. Anyway, here's the Vignamale, 3298 meters. Now I can say I've earned my breakfast. I put myself in this box and prepare a feast. Oh, and that cave I'm gonna check out on the way down. And my very last meal, cinnamon rice pudding. Sounds delicious. Again, another baby portion. Good, but not enough. Oh, it stinks in here. It smells like nowadays it's more often used as a toilet than a shelter. It's quite spacious though. Back down on the slippy slide. Into the mushroom land. One last fun fact about these caves: Henry actually owned a big chunk of the mountain. I mean, not exactly owned, but rented. And believe it or not, it actually cost him less than the actual digging process itself. They charged him 1 franc over 99 years, which is about as much as a loaf of bread. Apparently, the reason for such a low price was to promote tourism. But also worth noting is that Henry was an influential man with lots of connections and money, of course. I doubt they'd sell it for that same price to any other ordinary mountaineer. But I may be wrong. Maybe I'm too quick to judge. There's these circles everywhere. Looks like wild camping is a bit more tolerated here. Haven't had any signal to contact my girlfriend for 3 days, so I better hurry before she smacks my ass. Look at that chunk of meat. Preparing for winter, eh? Oh, look at him go. Straight up. Chunker. You ever seen the video where someone squeezes the marmot's belly? That's what I wanna do. It looks so squishy. Over this saddle and then we're back in the original valley. That shortcut I took yesterday really did save me a lot of time. These zigzags cover way too much ground with way too little elevation gain. Or descent in my case. Still got that goodie bag to pick up before I leave this place for good. The devil on my left shoulder is hoping it got stolen. He's had enough of this heavy ass backpack. Looks familiar. It does to me. Oh. Oh. Oh no. The devil's gonna be furious when he finds out. Could have just taken my time and organized everything nicely, but it's about the time for that. Bye bye, Vignemale. Howdy, amigo. Oh, I forgot. You don't speak. Oh. Sorry. Forgot you're French. You don't speak. You only speak French. Bonjour. He's not having it. I'm gonna throw myself in the first water I see. Smell like a bag of rotten potatoes.